Story: The Lost Frog. There was once a frog whose name was called Fred. No, Fred the frog was not like the other frogs. He liked to eat grass instead of flies. Instead of living in the water, he liked to live in the life of nature. Nobody knew what was going wrong with Fred. He liked the flies and they liked Fred. Then one day the older frogs had a meeting with the other frogs. By this stage they did not like what Fred was doing. So they sent him away. Fred was very sad to leave. That night Fred was all alone. He had no one to say good night to. And he was also afraid. Then a fox came along. Fred was afraid because he had not seen a fox before. Then the fox said hello. Fred was shy to say hello, but he said hello. Fred talked to the fox. He got used to the fox. The fox asked Fred for dinner. Fred was not sure about this, but he said okay. Fred loved the dinner. Then he played with the fox cubs. Their names were Pixie, Pixie, Pickles and Stripes. Fred loved them all. Then they all went to bed. Even Fox made a bed for Fred. That night Fred had a dream. He dreamed about his own home. He missed them all a lot. The next day he told Fox and the family he was going. They were very sad to hear that Fred was leaving. Then Fox said he could take one of the cubs. Fred was delighted. Fred took the best and nicest of them all and he took Pixie. They picked Fred up. Then they set off. Halfway through Pixie said she was hungry. So they set along the road and ate some chicken legs and grass. Then they set off again. After a while it got dark. So they lit a fire and set out sleeping bags. And off to sleep they went. When they woke up they found themselves in a beautiful pond. Then Fred noticed it was his home. Then he heard his friends talk. He went over to them. He told them all about his journey. Then he showed Pixie to them. Then Pixie and the other frogs made friends very quickly. So they lived happily ever after. The end.